Today I'm talking to Jessel, a young entrepreneur from Toronto, Canada. Like many people his age, he's looking for, as he calls it, dating advice, specifically Christian dating advice. Yes, Jessel is not your typical guy in his 20s. He wants to stay true to his faith and values as a Christian. According to Pew Research, 70% of millennials believe that dating now is much more difficult than it was for previous generations. In today's world, there are so many different dating trends. Casual dating, and according to recent studies, almost 40% of couples now meet online. Many Christians are looking for a meaningful, long-term relationship, leading to, as they hope, a lifetime of commitment together. Something that Jessel hopes to have one day as well. But how do you start? How can you overcome challenges when it comes to dating, or we should say courting, as a Christian? What do you need to know about Christian courtship and marriage? Join us in our conversation and let's look for the solution together. Hi, Brother Jessel.
Hi.
Welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Do you mind if I call you Jesse? Is that okay with you?
Yeah.
Okay.
My friends call me that.
Great. So please consider me as your friend.
Of course.
Why don't you tell the viewers a bit about yourself?
So I've been with the church for about a year now, and I came to Canada in 2012.
Okay.
Um,
You came by yourself, or
I
did you
came
come
with my family,
Mhm.
my parents, and I got 3 more brothers.
Okay.
I'm the eldest. My parents are divorced. My mom got remarried now.
How long ago did your parents separate?
I think they really got separated back in 2013, 2000.
Here in Canada?
Yeah, here in
Okay.
Canada. Yeah.
Okay.
Growing up, I never really stayed with my family. I was a seminarian for 4 years.
Oh,
So
that's interesting.
yeah, I
When did you enter
Lived away.
the seminary?
I entered back in 2012, really early on. First year high school.
Right.
Then went out for a year, went back in for 3 more years after that. It was very different.
After that, how was life for you? What did you experience?
After that, I became more and more independent. Never asked for a penny from my parents.
How about relationships?
I've had a lot. I've had a lot, yeah.
Were they lasting relationships? When
No.
we say lasting,
No.
or they were just
The-
fleeting?
It was, yeah, they're like come and go. The longest one's probably a year.
And you said you got baptized or became a baptized member of the Church of Christ in what year?
2018, the 50th, yeah. 50 years in the West.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
So why are you here for our program today? What dilemma or situation are you looking for an answer?
So I wanted to know because I had all these really troubled relationships. I wanted to know how it is to date as a Christian, like the proper way, and what the Bible says about it and stuff.
When it comes to, as others call Christian dating, however, inside the church, we don't call it dating per se, but rather it is Christian courting. Because when it comes to dating, it denotes that, yes, you're going to go for a date, a dinner date, you're going to go out, you're going to meet somebody, and virtually just have a good time. So when it comes to the courting process, what is the teaching of the Bible? In 2 Timothy 2, and the verse is 22, flee also youthful lust, but pursue righteousness, faith, love, peace with those who call on the Lord out of a pure heart. The Bible clearly teaches here that we should flee youthful lust. So many young people, we can see that what happens, they go on dates, they get to know each other, and when I say get to know each other, even physically to the point that they're going to violate the teachings of the Lord our God.
Yeah.
So, meaning to say, there is a noble intent that God be willing, the person that they're finding interest in, eventually it's going to lead to becoming married.
Like the relationships that I've had,
Right.
right? Like they're just crazy, so to say.
Crazy in what way?
Crazy in a way that, it's just it was. I wasn't planning on staying on those relationships at all.
Well,
Yeah.
that's the common trend nowadays, is it not? When it comes to casual dating,
Yeah.
when it comes to even open relationships,
Yeah.
you even have what's called micro cheating nowadays, where there's some flirting on the side.
Yeah.
Sometimes one may deem it innocent, but other times it may lead into having illicit relationships. But again, we're talking about what should be done when one becomes a member of the Church of Christ. And now they are courting. It's not just dating per se, it's really courting, looking for somebody whom you love, and they in turn will love you, but all being done within the confines of the teachings of God. So, because of this, let's read another citation Ecclesiastes 11, and the verse is 9. Young people, it's wonderful to be young. Enjoy every minute of it. Do everything you want to do, take it all in. But remember that you must give an account to God for everything you do. So we can see here, this is the admonition of our Father in heaven. He knows everything. He knows that when it comes to how He created man, as we grow up, we are keen to explore, is it not? We want to taste different aspects of our life.
Yeah.
In ways, there's a bit of a parallelism when it comes to the life you lived before you became a member of the church and myself. I mean, we both tasted what life is like before we became members.
Yeah.
We enjoyed and we pursued just like what other people pursued. But when we became members of the church, and I have to ask you, we don't have to go into details, okay? So no need to be nervous, Brother Jess. But before you became a member of the church, of course, you experienced life as a young man.
Yes, brother.
When you say that in ways you kind of look back and now you can see some of the mistakes that were made?
A lot.
Mhm.
I could say to the point that, like now that I know what's right and wrong,
Mhm.
I'm not curious anymore because I'm not missing anything. Like
Right.
I've done it. Now that I know it's wrong, and like I don't care if I don't do it anymore. It's very different because now I'm conscious. I'm conscious about, like, I'm afraid. I'm afraid to do it. Go back. I feel like if I'm in if I go into a relationship at this point right now, I feel like I'll just go back to who I was.
Well, Jesse, when it comes to what you're mentioning, especially just now, I think it's important that we read this citation. We can read here in 1 Corinthians 7, and the verses are 8 to 9. Now to the unmarried and the widows I say, it is good for them to stay unmarried as I do. But if they cannot control themselves, they should marry. For it is better to marry than to burn with passion. So you're a young man, you're inside the church, you're saying you don't want to go back to that lifestyle, and you shouldn't be going back to that lifestyle that you used to live. But if you still have those passions, you still have that compulsion, then we should really think about getting married in order to have the relationship wherein, when it comes to those passions, they're going to be satisfied, but within the realms of the teachings of the Lord our God. Well, that is why. Well, go ahead. What are you going to say?
But should I just do it for that reason though? Like,
No.
should I
It should
jump?
be because of love.
Exactly.
Yeah, it
And
should be because of love.
it's
But
hard.
how are you going to find Mrs. Right? We're not going to base it on analytics per se when it comes to all of those dating, websites that we can utilize. So how can we find Mrs. Right? Here in Proverbs, the chapter is 19, and the verse is 14. A man can inherit a house and money from his parents, but only the Lord can give him a sensible wife. So when it comes to finding who is compatible, who is right for you, well, we should trust God to grant unto us that sensible or prudent spouse. Now, how can we prove our hope and trust in God? Well, one way is through prayer. And again, within the instructions of God, we're not just going to have a relationship like we used to do, almost hit and run, we can say. But now inside the church, now we're going to be looking for somebody whom you want to spend the rest of your life with. Because we adhere to what the Bible teaches. Marriage is a lifelong commitment.
Yes.
So there's a lot of aspects of an individual now that we have to look at. It's not just the physical, Brother Jesse. It's not just the appearance. You know, how about when it comes to her level of faith? How about when it comes to her conviction in God? How about when it comes to how she's living her life? You know, and she'll be looking for the same or very similar qualities from you. How about your level of faith? So when it comes to finding and having a spouse within the confines of God's teachings, it's a good thing. And why is it a good thing? We can read the answer here, Proverbs 18, the verse is 22. Find a wife, and you find a good thing. It shows that the Lord is good to you. So when we find a wife, or for the sisters, when they find a husband, it is a good thing. It shows that God is showing his favor, or meaning to say he's blessing them. It is a blessing to be able to have a spouse within the confines of God's teachings inside the church.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's why we're admonishing you, Brother Jess, you know, just the prayer. It's not as if you're looking for an instant wife or somebody whom you can marry, but just to include in your prayer that at God's appointed time, you will meet somebody who's just right for you. So when it comes to what we've discussed today, do you find it of any help at all?
Very. Learned a lot. And stuff that are new to me. At the end of the day, it's about, I want to know, and now that I've heard it, how to do it right.
Okay. So now you know how to do it right. We'll leave behind how it was done in the past, and we'll face the future with optimism, knowing full well that God called you inside the church. God called you for a reason. Number one, to serve him. But God is also prepared to pour out so many blessings to you in every aspect of your life, including when it comes to finding, and we use the terminology soulmate very loosely, but one who is really akin to you and your likes and your aspirations in life.
Yeah.
Thank you so very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's a pleasure having you on the program, Brother Jesse.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining our conversation on The Solution. I'm Brother Donald Pinnock, and we hope to see you next time.